Roads are rough. Man, listen to the go. Third gear. She just pulls. She just pulls like an animal. Like an animal. It's just. I'll give you a hint. They're not fun. Okay, let me get some pictures of this baby here. I love this bridge. I'm not a fan of the KTM, the previous design, the bug headlight. Marauders, welcome back to the channel. This video is going to be the review of the 2024 KTM 990 Duke. My 990 Duke, and it is awesome. And if you're judging by my apparel and some of the motorcycles in this garage, not all of them, it's a Harley and Ducati in this back right-hand corner. If you're judging by my apparel and some of these bikes in this garage, I am a KTM fanboy. And regardless of that, I looked at other motorcycles, and by far, this was the right bike for me. I believe it may be the best naked bike, middle-sized naked bike in the class. I think the electronics and the cruise control really push it, not to mention the engine performance, push it over the other competitors like the Triumph Triple and the Yamaha MT-109, and yes, even the Ducati motorcycles. So not going to be a video in my garage, just starting it off this way. I'm going to give you a quick walk around of the bike in the garage, and then we're going to go out on the road. In my video that I posted months ago, I rode a black and with a red accent KTM 990 Duke. And I've had so many black cars, vehicles, I don't want another black vehicle, even a motorcycle, although that motorcycle was very good looking. I do have accessories on this bike I put on myself. I'll release videos on that, but fundamentally, I wanted KTM. If I'm going to own a Duke, I want it to be KTM orange, and I had to have the orange rims on the bike. And I just love this motorcycle, love the colors on it. I'll get into quickly, it does not have an electronic suspension like the 1390 Duke, and I almost bought a 1390 Duke. Does not have the electronic suspension on it. For me, the suspension is fine. The motor, I think, is 943 cc's, 123 horsepower, 75 foot-pounds of torque. Get into some of the specs when we're riding, not a lot of them. Really love, had to have the orange rims. Wanted the orange rims. I just think they look fantastic, not easy to clean. The headlight, I am not a fan of the KTM, the previous design, the bug headlight that looks like a bug or beetle head on the front of the bike. I really like the headlight on this bike, and I did since I first saw it. People will tell you online it looks better in person. I will tell you it does. Looks like an Edsel. They say it looks like mandrels off a fantasy monster. To me, it looked like an Edsel grill on an Edsel, Ford Edsel. If you remember that car, I'll let your imagination run wild with you on that. But it just looks mean. I can tell you, especially young people, enthusiasts, when they see this headlight with the daytime running lights on it, I get the high sign. They just love it. They know it's a KTM, and they know it's a performance machine. Surprisingly, these headlights are phenomenal at night. Phenomenal. Getting back to the engine, 990, or 990, they call it a 990 Duke, 943 roughly cc's. Again, it's a derivative, a redesign of the engine on my Husqvarna, 2024 Husqvarna Norden, and 901. I think that's about 870 cc's if I remember right. I could be wrong. 105 horsepower, 123 horsepower. That engine is great, although I've had some issues with it, and I'll do that in another video. Still really am fond of that bike. This engine is amazing. I think it's a 280-degree crank, which is expensive to manufacture. Torque, torque, torque. Very lightweight bike, just over 400 pounds. Okay, that's it. Let me give you a quick walk around. Of course, this is my KTM. If you've been watching the channel, my friend Marine Mike is going to take me riding in the Southern Tier on fire roads on that. Maybe someday on this. Give you a look at the bike. She's just a monster. She is fun, 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 especially in the summer. Let's get on this bike, and I'll give you some 360 views of the bike, the side view of it, and helmet views. Let's go. I have to show you this. I love this. Starting to overheat. I reversed my course. I wanted you to get the bike with the sun on it, so hopefully you'll get enough sun on the bike. So this bike is extremely well balanced. So you know that you've watched my videos hopefully of the test drive of the 990 Duke and the 1390 Duke and a 1290 Duke, an older Duke. And I really wanted a naked bike. All my bikes, all my other, well, except for the Dual Sport, have fairings on them, fixed fairings, and I really wanted a bike to ride during the summer. I wanted a bike to ride during the summer to get some air on my body, to cool me down. So I wanted a naked bike, and I gravitate towards KTM because, why do you gravitate towards KTM? I gravitate towards you ask, why do you gravitate towards KTM? They are such a performance-orientated company. It is performance, performance, performance. It is lightweight. They're about making things lightweight, engines as light as they can be, and as much power as the engine can be, and torque, horsepower, torque, lightweight, electronic technology. You know, other motorcycles, other naked bikes don't have cruise control. Now you think that's a ridiculous thing. You don't need it on a sport bike / naked bike. Well, I like it so I don't speed. And also, after I do ride a little aggressively for a 60-year-old man, I like cruise control just to set it and relax when I'm on a straight run, especially in the country or on the thruway. So, but beyond that, and they say the brakes on this aren't very sensitive. I think they're very sensitive. Beyond that, KTM's electronics are, I think, unsurpassed in a mid-sized naked bike or sport bike. I really do. I think the electronics on this bike are as good or surpass its competition. I don't think they come close. Maybe, no, I was going to say Ducati, but I don't think so. Well, someone else can figure that out. The suspension on the bike is not electronic. It's not an electronic suspension. If I went to Super Duke, it would be $10,000 more roughly for the electronic suspension, and I'm a big fan of that. But for what I'm doing at the bike, this bike, I don't know that I need it. And I find I stiffened up the rear suspension, changed the compression and dampening on the front forks, and I think it's fine for me. I think the suspension is excellent. And overall, I think even on some of these roads, country roads are rough. Man, listen to the go, third gear. She just pulls. She just pulls like an animal. Like an animal. It's just unbelievable, this bike. I'm gonna skip my camera in the ground on this turn. So suspension, WP suspension, it's excellent. That's KTM's in-house brand. I think it's up there with the best of them, without a doubt. The engine, I believe it's a 280-degree crank. The engine is phenomenal. We'll give you a run up here. You know, I'm going to start to head home. I'll head home on this back road. The power in the engine is just phenomenal. She's just a powerhouse. This bike is faster than my Ducati. I think it's faster than my Ducati 0 to 50, 0 to 60. And not that I'm a speed demon, because many of you who watch the channel know that I am not, but it is an extremely fast bike. Very, very fast. So you got an amazing brand new engine that to me in many ways was proven in the 890, the 890 Adventure and the Husqvarna 901. They really make a great parallel twin bike, they being KTM. I'm too close to this truck. I don't know if I want to pass it. Oh, there's a turn coming up here, I can't pass it. So great engine, great suspension. The bike is 95% all new, critically acclaimed on the changes they've made to the bike, without a doubt. I love the looks of it. The power, and you can see this isn't much different than I normally ride. I try not to be a hooligan on the road and break the speed limit, but the power on the bike is more than enough, and I think I think in most cases, except for the MT-109, I think it's faster. I think it has more power than its competition across the board. I believe it does. I bought it, and unlike other reviews that you're going to see on YouTube, including professionals, and this is just what it is. I'm not reviewing a motorcycle someone gave to me. I'm reviewing a motorcycle that I purchased. And I think that should say a lot to you. If you're watching this video, hey, this guy researched it. He's got some motorcycle experience. He actually bought it. And I believe in KTM, frankly. And I know I've had problems with my Norden, which is essentially a KTM engine, among other things. I've had some issues with my Norden. Dealer and Husqvarna has backed it and corrected it. Not huge issues, but they were issues. And I believe that they stand by their product, and that's why I went with them. I think they are a performance-oriented company. They're they're a performance dedicated company, and they don't just say it, they prove it. They go after it. They go after it. They don't make motorcycles that look like they perform. They don't advertise that they make performance motorcycles that are just average. They go out and they make bikes that do the dance and are out there fighting, especially in dirt. But I think they're really trying to hit the sport bike market, and I have my eye on their sport bike that's hopefully going to be out next year. We'll see. And not that I'm could be competitive on a sport bike, but I would like to get some track time on a sport bike, see what it's like. And I'm not even full throttle now. I do have the throttle. She is in track mode, and the throttle is on the most sensitive setting. It is on the most sensitive setting. So I think I went through, by the way, that post I have, that frame slider is excellent to mount a 360 camera. So what a beautiful day. This is one of my routes I do that I love. I don't know how much you'll see of it. So I think I've mentioned the pros. The con everyone mentions, I'll do it quickly, the price. And I think if you compare it to a Triumph Triple, Street Triple, or definitely the MT-109, which is, I don't know, $1,000 cheaper, $1,400 less expensive. Yes, it is expensive, but it's less money than a mid-sized Ducati naked bike. That's got to be for sure. And I think the electronics are better than those bikes. I think they're more competitive with the electronics on this bike. So, you look at that, to me, that's a big deal. And it's the 30th anniversary of the Duke, 30 years of the Duke, if I got it right, 25 years of the CVO Harley, 30 years of the Duke. And, well, I'm getting off track on the negative. So, negative is the cost, that's what everyone says. The brakes, now for someone that's competitive on the track, I can see where they say there might not be a lot of feel or transition in the brakes. I think these brakes have only gotten better. Are they Benbro? Maybe not. Maybe not the top of the line Benbros, but for me, they're more than adequate. And we'll see if I ever take this bike on the track. That's the reason why I bought it originally, was to check it out as a track bike. I'm not sure if this is my turn or not. I think this road is closed. Oh, guys, this is the road I wanted. Okay, so did you ever ride across the steel bridge? I'll give you a hint, they're not fun. Okay, let me get some pictures of this baby here. I love this bridge. Stop in the middle of the road to take pictures. And you know what else? KTM has emergency flashers on their bike. Every bike should have that. Okay, let's shut this down. It's coming up on rush hour in the country, and I pulled over, took up both lanes to take pictures. I love this bridge. This is exactly where I wanted to be. I ride this route. I was riding it at the start of the summer almost every night. And I really like it. Sometimes there's cows. It might have a picture of some cows there. Pictures of this bike. Cost negative, brakes negative, kind of, sorta. I'm going to say, most would say KTM reliability, but guys, I'm not buying into that. I'm really not. I think they're too heavily criticized over that. Are they as reliable as a Japanese motorcycle? I don't know. I don't know. When you're on the cutting edge of performance like they are for most of their vehicles, not all their vehicles, you know, they're coming out aggressively with new designs every year. They're not sitting on designs. They're going after it, and I really like that. So, you know, that's my opinion. I'm going to take you down this road. This bike, I'm in performance mode, so it's just paved and it's very gravelly, rough. A negative that I think is the gear shifts first to second is not the smoothest. It is not. On a lot of bikes it isn't, but I will say the shift from first to second is not the smoothest on this bike. Could this be a daily driver or commuter bike? Absolutely. Yeah, I've ridden it to work. Man, this road is really gravelly, and they just paved it. I ride it to work. You could easily use this as a daily commuter with a backpack if you have to carry a briefcase or computer to work. And I think it would be a fine daily commuter. Maybe not the best because it doesn't have panniers or a lot of storage. If you're not into that, man, I think absolutely. I don't have an external mic on this video. I will do a video where just the raw sounds of the bike, well, that's all you hear is the engine. Let's get off these stones. Not even flooring it, guys. I'm not even flooring this bike. Give you the bike at speed. Turn the cruise control on. I have over 700 miles on the bike, so over 760 miles actually. I wanted to do the video of the bike when it wasn't in break-in mode. I didn't want to do the video in break-in mode where it was alerting if I'm exceeding the RPMs. I think it was $5,000 for break-in period. I didn't want to see the dashboard all lighting up, warning you not to exceed the RPMs. So I've had this bike for easily 2 months. Actually, I think I went through the 600 miles for the break-in mode. I think I did it within a month, frankly. I was riding it so much. And I wanted you to see the bike. I thought it was time. So I hope you enjoy this 60-year-old man on his toy, his naked bike. He's extremely happy with it. I've had no issues with it. And I appreciate you tuning into the channel. I hope you consider liking the video, subscribing to the channel, sharing it with a friend. And if you're thinking about purchasing a KTM 990 Duke 2024, I can tell you that I'm just thrilled with it. It gets better and better every ride. Better and better every ride. And this, I will tell you, this is the easiest bike I have to ride with no hands. She is just, as I try to balance it a little bit, she is just a dream ride with no hands. She is just so light and balanced and refined, precision engineering in my opinion. She's a doll. She's a doll, and I just, of course, I'm all over the looks of the bike. I just love it. So, Marauders, I'll give you more aspects of the bike, and by the way, it does wheelie. I don't even try to wheelie it sometimes. I have wheelie control on, set to full. I don't even try to wheelie this bike. Sometimes I cross an intersection, gave it the, juiced it a little bit, and the front tire went in the air. She does the dance, so those of you hooligans, which I don't consider I am, man, I don't see how it could get better than this bike, frankly. Okay, I'm gonna pull up here and shut my cameras down in this hamlet. Thank you, Marauders. I use this person's driveway. I hope they don't come out or have a dog. I'll sync the video with a beep of the horn.